Hi everyone, it's Jody from An Eye for Beauty, and today is Sunday, May 1st, 2022. And this message is for this week or whenever you hear this message. There is always something in these messages, if you fall upon them and decide to continue listening, that you need to hear for your highest good. So I've pulled the 3 cards already. You can decide now if you would like to go with 1, 2, or 3. Or maybe you prefer to just listen to the whole message in its entirety. And before we begin, we had yesterday a new moon eclipse, and it was April 30th. And this brought in energies that were giving us the opportunity to clear away something that we have been holding on to way too long. Maybe it is a belief. Maybe it is a relationship. Maybe it is a job. But being a general reading, it could be many different things. But the bottom line is that you're holding on to this stagnant energy around this thing. And for what? What is the reason? Why are you still holding on to it? And so the energy that came in yesterday was really guiding you and supporting you to feel like you could do this, like empowered to let it go. And maybe you have let go of something. And now you're like, what's next? Because with a new moon comes birthing something. So maybe you're confused about what is next. And the card that comes in, the archangel that comes in, is Raphael. And Raphael wants to remind you, whatever it is that you are going through, whatever it is that you felt yesterday, to breathe. I think we got this card last week, or we got this card last time I did a reading. And what it is asking you and reminding you is that you always have your breath. You can always come back to the breath. And a good thing to do to put into practice is a breathing exercise. You can go on YouTube and you can look up Ujjayi breath, or you can look up alternate nostril breathing, which helps to balance the right and left hemispheres of the brain. Or you can look up different Kundalini breaths. Breath of fire is a good one. And what it does, it's a couple of minutes, but what it does is it helps to move around energy that is stagnant. And Archangel Raphael is just reminding you that your breath is your gift to help you to go through whatever it is you're going through, whatever you're releasing, and to know that when you come back to really yourself and you tune in with the breath, the way you felt 5 minutes prior to the way you will feel 5 minutes after concentrating on that breath is significantly different. And if you remember that you always have your breath, it will help and support you more than you can ever imagine. Can you see the magic, which is the next card, in the breath? Can you see the magic in the breath? Do you even realize, do you even connect with your breath, or are you so busy just doing things that you forget? We all are human. We all have the tendency to do that. But it's important to begin to focus on your breath. So with that, we're going to start with card number 1. And card number 1 is the Crystal of Hematite, and it says, ground yourself. So if you're an empath, typically you feel other energies. You might be a physical empath, or you might be an emotional empath. But either way, you feel, if you're an emotional empath, you feel bad for people. You feel bad if a person is dealing with a situation. Not just feeling bad and moving on, but almost carrying somehow, some way, an attachment to how they are feeling with you. And what ends up happening is you begin to carry, and you're carrying a lot of other people's stuff, which gets embedded inside of the aura. We have our physical body, but then outside of that physical body, we have all the other energetic bodies that, unless you are clairvoyant, you cannot see. But energies get stuck in those other bodies inside of the aura. And Reiki is a great practice to put into play to help you to clear those energies. And Reiki is great, but the consistency is the key. You will come for one time and feel great, but if you're not consistent, Reiki's not helping. And that goes with anything, chiropractic treatments or massage therapy or whatever it is that you do for self-care. One time is a wonderful thing, but it's not enough because it's something that you need to focus and discipline yourself to do consistently. And these things help you, such as Reiki, with your energetic bodies and clearing away stagnant energies. We are living in a time right now in the world where there is so much being thrown at us. If you are an empath, you're feeling it, and you're feeling it to such an extent that it's weighing on you. And a lot of times when we are empathic, we are so much in our heads that we have a hard time being in our feet or being in our hearts even, because we're so much up in the head space, which is where the crown chakra is, which is our connection to our creator and the universe. So if you pulled this card, it is important for you to ground yourself always, to make sure that your feet are always planted into the floor, to pretend that you are being anchored down gently by roots coming up from the earth, anchoring you into the floor. Perhaps you need to walk outside in nature barefoot, which helps to ground. Maybe you need to get your hands dirty in the soils and maybe do some gardening. That helps to ground. Wearing a hematite ring or a hematite bracelet picks up on those negative energies as an empath that you don't realize you're taking in or you're carrying. And what it does at a certain point is when it's taken in enough energetic negativity for you, it breaks. So when a hematite ring or hematite bracelet breaks, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing because it did its job. And in doing that, maybe it helped you to ground yourself a little more because you weren't taking on as much stuff as you normally would. So this first card is asking you to protect your energy, to make sure that you're focusing on grounding. Another way to ground is to breathe, to do all of those great different breathing techniques I just suggested to you with Archangel Raphael. But if you chose card number 1, it's time for you to get moving in terms of connecting with the breath and making sure that you get out of the head and into the earth. Root yourself down into the earth. Ground yourself and work on detaching from all of the things that you've allowed to attach into your aura and energy field. That's card number 1. Card number 2 is Let It Go, Smoky Quartz. So if you have been taking on all of this stuff or stuff in your life or stuff from other family members or friends or coworkers or the world, it's time for you to work on detaching. It's time for you to work on letting go. Being selfish is selfless. So what do I mean by that? Making sure that you are, as a parent, let's take that as an example. As a parent, you might put all of your energies in your children and maybe your spouse if you have a spouse as well, and you put yourself last. And in doing all of that, you're taking on everybody else's concerns and worries and fears, and you're carrying them with you. And they're getting stuck in that aura, that energetic body, and you're carrying it with you. Possibly you might have gained some physical weight. And why did that happen? Well, one reason is to protect your body, your physical body. Because your body intuitively knows when it needs to protect, when it needs to put on extra layers to help you, actually. And what this card is asking you to do is begin to let go of stuff that is not yours. Every one of us, including our children, have our own journeys. And I know it's difficult. I'm a parent. But you have to begin to learn how to detach, how to let go of controlling everything else around you, And begin by working on caring for yourself. That is selfless. That is not selfish. God put each of us on this earth in order for us to take care of ourselves so that we can help take care of others that are in our lives. But if you're not taking care of yourself, how are you going to be good for anybody else? You're not. You're not going to be able to handle it. It's going to be overwhelming. So a good practice, building onto the breath work and the grounding yourself and maybe wearing hematite, is learning how to energetically let go of the emotions of others that are not yours, or the physical obstacles of others that are not yours. You can be there to support someone. You can be there to guide them if they ask you permission to do so. But at the end of the day, it is not your responsibility or your job to carry every single person's other stuff. Your job is to carry your own stuff, your own lessons, your own obstacles, so that you can work through them. Perhaps if you put more energy into that, just by doing those things quietly, you are actually helping others around you, because as they watch you, they are feeling empowered to be able to do it themselves as well. This is an important card, and if you chose card number 2, it's time to get to work, energetically speaking, by learning how to let go of other people's stuff. And finally, card number 3, get back into balance. Look at this. If we look at 1, 2, and 3, you got to ground yourself and learn how to let go so that you could get yourself back into balance. Because right now, if you chose card number 3, you're out of whack. You're out of balance. You might be more in the male body, which is the right side, more in the female body, which is the left side. Most likely, you're more on the right side. Most humans are in the right side more than that they're in the left side. They're more in that male dominant, go, 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 gotta get it done, gotta do things energy. We are less as a human consciousness in the female energy, which is the receiving energy. So if you are someone that is an empath, and I think that this reading calls to all the empaths, you are more in a giving space than a receiving space. And then when it comes to you receiving, you're like, oh no, I can't do that. I can't receive anything from anybody. It's like your ego gets loud. You get back into the male energy. This is important for anyone that's listening to this, that in order for you to get back into balance, there's all different tools that I have in my spiritual toolbox. But one of the greatest things that you can begin to do is allow yourself to receive support, to receive love, to receive a lunch, to receive whatever it is that you allow yourself to receive in order to get yourself back into balance. You can do the breath work, the alternate nostril breathing, which is amazing. But if you don't allow yourself to receive, you're just going to remain in this unbalanced state. How do you bring yourself? How do you scale back, tip the scale into the center where you are giving and receiving more equally than you ever have before? Allow yourself to receive. You deserve it. You are here on this earth not to constantly give, but also to receive. Can you do that for yourself? See the magic. Remember that card that we had in the beginning with the new moon in Taurus yesterday. Can you see the magic in receiving from others? Can you see the gratitude in receiving from others? Because there is gratitude. There is gratitude to be had when you allow yourself to receive. And finally, remember that even though this might resonate with you greatly, all is well. And everything is happening exactly as it is supposed to be happening, because maybe your lesson in this moment is to learn how to get more into balance. And when you get out of balance, how to bring yourself back into balance. Archangel Jeremiel can help you. So I hope that for the month of May, this is probably going to be your lesson. I hope that this message helps you as an empath to get yourself more focused and balanced. Wish you a great week. Bye-bye.